really like this sequence. Some traditional yoga postures mixed in, but still the idea of our movement practice. And we'll flow quite quickly. Okay, we're going to start onto our seat. So let's start moving. Start comfortable onto your seat. If you need a block, make sure you have a block handy, and we'll get rolling. So comfortable seat. Make sure you get settled with a nice tall spine. Watch how you're showing up, as we always do, right? If there is a lack in any of the systems in the body, especially the nervous system, we are literally going to start to come into ourselves. I talk a lot about this of like kind of like curling into a ball, right? This is our survival position. And this is why we see people traditionally start to like really curl through the spine. Thanks, Christy. And kind of really collapse in. So this is our moment to shift that, right? Tell the body and the systems in the body that we are okay, right? Welcome, Erin. Good. So tall spine. Take a couple deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And let's set an intention for our practice. So find an intention that resonates with you, first thing that comes into your mind. Don't analyze it, don't second guess it, just allow it to be the word or the intention that you're working with today. Good. Let's gently open the eyes, hands onto the knees, and we are going to start to move into a variation of cat-cow. So let's exaggerate the movement. We're literally rocking back onto the tailbone here, holding onto your knees, drop the chin to the chest, and then come forward. Reach the chest up and forward, gaze up, and then find a little movement and flow with yourself. So I don't care how fast this is or how slow it is. See how it feels in your own body. See what extra movement you can get with every time you move into the posture. Let's do 2 more full rounds. Good. Let's sit up nice and tall, neutral spine. Let's take our gaze towards our left shoulder, feeling the stretch along the side of the neck. Take an inhale. Exhale, switch sides. Gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale. Good. Back through center. Drop your chin to your chest. And then let's tilt it back up toward the sky, just as far as the body allows. Good. Let's come into a neutral spot with the neck. Let's roll forward onto hands and knees, setting up for our cat-cow. So another variation of cat-cow. Your fingertips are pointing towards the top of the mat. We stack the body as we always do and start to move with your breath. So inhale, arch the spine, gaze up. Exhale, we curl, push down strongly into the hands, into the knees. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale. Good. A few more. Your own pace, your own breath. Good. Let's return to a neutral spine. Take your right foot extended out nice and wide to the side. Keep your right hand planted where it is. Take your left arm, slide it underneath, behind your right. Good. Take your right arm. You can either leave it onto the mat if that feels okay, or take it, wrap it behind your back. Try to catch onto your left thigh. Roll into that shoulder. Breathe here. And working all aspects here, the neck, the shoulders, the spine, all of the stomach. Good. Let's return back up. Right hand plants. Draw your right knee in, and let's switch sides. Extend the left foot out nice and wide. Take your right arm, drop it behind your left, right shoulder comes down. Left hand can stay planted, or take it, wrap it behind the back, reach for your right thigh. Good. Start to roll that left shoulder down your back as you gaze up towards the sky or the ceiling. Breathe here. Good. So just settling into the body, right? Showing up, finding the breath. Switch your tone, switch your focus. Good. Let's come back up to neutral spine. Plant your hands down onto the back or down onto the mat. Good. From here, we are going to bend the elbows, hug them by the side, reach your chest down to the mat. If you can, connect it. So you're pushing into the chest and the chin, and we are holding here for a couple breaths. Yeah, stay here. That's it. Good. So draw your shoulders away from your ears. Find a little space. Good. And then from here, simply walk your knees back so you come all the way down onto the belly. Beautiful. Let's take our hands nice and wide off of the mat. Elbows kind of up towards the sky. Inhale, let's lift into a wide arm, upward facing dog. And exhale down. I do not care how high you come. See what feels good in the body. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. Good. Inhale, lift, and stay up. Good. Now we're going to take the right shoulder. We're going to drop it towards your mat. Gaze towards your left elbow. And then come back up through center. Good. Switch sides. Left shoulder comes down. Gaze towards your right elbow. And back up. And one more each side. Right shoulder comes down. And back up. And last time. Good. Okay, let's lower down onto the belly. Bring your hands beside your chest. Tuck your toes. Push up into high plank. Good. And downward facing dog. Find your hands, find your feet. A few breaths here. Gaze forward. Walk your feet towards your hands. Let's fold forward over straight legs. Grab onto opposite elbow, and I want you to swing from side to side. So see where you feel it. See where you can release. Just relax into the breath. Good. Let's slow down the movement. Come into the center. Release your elbows and roll all the way up through the spine. Standing up nice and tall at the top of your mat. Samastitihi. Beautiful. Vinyasa. Inhale, rise up with your arms. Exhale, let's dive forward. Inhale, gaze up. Plant your hands back into high plank. We are doing one push-up here, returning back up into high plank. Good. Drop your knees down to the mat. Shift your weight back towards your heels. Forearms come down. Let's curl forward, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Let's guide ourselves back forward into high plank. We have 5 rocks here. So working into the wrists, let's rock forward, bring your shoulders past your wrists, and then come on back, sink into the heels. Good. Let's do 4 more. The belly button is drawn towards the spine. If you need more assistance, you drop your knees down to the mat and still find that same rocking motion. Good. After your 5th one, we're back into a neutral spine, high plank. And we have 3 push-ups here. So let's lower towards the mat, hover, and then back up, high plank. Good. Drop your knees if you need them. 2 more. And last one. Good. Downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee down onto the mat. Let's rise up with the arms that we're going to cactus them. So elbows are bent. Good. Palms facing towards the front of the mat. Got it? Good. Open through the chest. So draw your shoulders down as you lift your chest up towards the sky. Pull them towards the mat. Good. And then as we exhale, our hands come down onto the mat and we straighten this front leg, toes up towards the sky. Okay, so this is going to be our movement for the next few. Inhale, we come forward. Our arms come up. We bend the elbows. We reach the chest up as we pull our elbows towards the mat. Good. And then to unwind, hands come down. Straighten that front leg, toes up towards the sky. Good. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, come forward. Hands come down. Straighten this leg. And last time through, with your own breath, your own movement, see how much depth you can get. Really sink into that front knee. Really pull your elbows down. Good. As you come forward, let's come here and hold. Toes up towards the sky. That front leg is straight. Let's take both hands off the right edge of your mat and walk them as far back as you can, but keep your pelvis stable. So keep those right toes up towards the sky. Yeah, both hands are towards the right. That's good. And use blocks. Come up onto your shin if you need a little more height. That's perfect, Steve. Good. Really good for the IT band. Stretching up the outer edge of that right leg. Good. Let's walk our hands back through center. Bend into this front knee, hands in front of your chest, and let's connect left elbow to your right knee and twist. Stay here, or you can lift your back knee just for some added strength into the legs. That's it. How much openness can you get here through the chest? Push strong into the hands, push into that elbow, and breathe. Let's drop the back knee. Bring your hands back through center and walk your right foot forward for your variation of splits. So some of us are going to be here, hands onto your hips, some onto blocks, and some are going to keep extending that right foot forward, placing a block underneath your right leg. Good. If you can, hands onto your hips. So today's a bit of a different pace, a tiny bit slower than we normally move. But we do this just to kind of activate the system again, right? Show it something new, get it to settle back into a new pace, new rhythm. Beautiful. Let's unwind. And make your way into high plank. Good. Let's lower. One push-up. High plank. Drop your knees. Shift your weight back. Roll forward, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Good. Drop your back knee. So same set of sequence here. Let's rise up with the arms. Cactus your arms, elbows are bent, palms facing forward. Good. Now pull your elbows down towards the mat. Lift your chest up towards the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, come forward. Hands come down, straighten this front leg. Left toes up towards the sky. Good. Or your variation. But this is going to look different for all of us. So find what works. And then let's come back forward. Come forward. Rise up with your inhale. Pull your elbows down. And then shift your weight back forward. Front leg straight, toes up. Good. Let's do a couple more. Inhale forward. Exhale down. Good. Last two. Beautiful. And down. And last time. And this time as you come forward, let's hold, straighten the leg, toes up towards the sky, and then walk both hands towards the left edge of your mat. Continue to walk them back as much as you can until you feel this intense stretch along that left leg. If there's tension in your system, it's gonna be most obvious in your upper part of your body, your jaw, your forehead, your shoulders. So there doesn't need to be much strength or tension there right now. So see if you can soften it. As you walk your hands back through center, bend into this front knee, bring your hands in front of heart center into prayer, and then let's twist. Right elbow to your left knee. You can straighten and lift that back leg if you did so on the other side. Find your strength. Because whether you feel strong right now or not, it is there, right? So settle into the strength. Trust what you have already in your system to hold you up in these times. Good. As we unwind, drop your back knee. Hands come down, and then let's shift into our splits on the left side. This is the perfect time as we slow down with this particular posture to check in with your breath and your intention, right? So guide it back in, refocus. Good, let's unwind. Make your way back into high plank. And we end this sequence with 3 more push-ups. So use your knees if you need to. Let's lower, hover, and back up. And 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Last one. And back up. Good, downward facing dog. Okay, let's bring our gaze forward. We are going to step our feet around our hands, coming into a low squat. Use blocks underneath your heels or pillows underneath your heels if you need to, if you can't come all the way down. That's it. Good. Elbows into your knees, hands in front of your chest, maybe rock from side to side, allowing the pelvis to drop into that right position, right? Eventually, we really want it to roll underneath us, creating that connection from pelvic floor to crown of the head. That's it. Good. Now let's take our palms down onto the mat, but flip your wrists. So the wrist creases are pointing towards the top of your mat, fingertips pointing back towards your heels. You got it? Good. Kind of again, rock from side to side, feeling into the wrists. Good. Now start to straighten your legs and walk your feet back so that they are in line with your fingertips. So toes lining up with your fingertips. If you need height, come onto blocks here, okay? Good. Now, bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart. Bend into your knees like chair posture, but try to keep connected down to the mat with your hands or onto the blocks, okay? That's it. Breathe. When your legs get tired, you stay here. Good. Now, if you have the space, we're going to create a little movement. So inhale, straighten your legs, drop your gaze, and exhale, squat. Good. Let's do this a few more times. Inhale, straighten, drop your gaze, and exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, bend. Good. Now knees are bent. You're going to flip your hands around and bring your hands into a diamond position. So your pointer fingers and thumbs are touching. Good. I know your legs are tired. Now step back into high plank. Beautiful. We have 3 push-ups here. Drop your knees if you need to, and let's come on down. So hands are in diamond position and back up. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Good. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Take your hands back into your normal position, shoulder width apart. Push down into your hands. Good. Let's bring our gaze forward. Step your right foot in between your hands. Spin and drop your back heel. Rise up into warrior 2. Reach the arms. Good. Shift your shoulders down your back. Sink a little deeper into that front knee. Take an inhale. And with your exhale, straighten your front leg. Bring your palms to touch in the middle. Gaze up. And then exhale, shift back into warrior 2. You got it. This is our movement. 4 more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. 3 more. And down. Last 2. Last 1. Good. From here, keep bending into that front knee. Bring your hands above your head, touching one another, and start to lean back, coming to a bit of a side bend here. Don't forget to sink a little deeper into that front knee. Take a breath. Yes, it is intense. Good. Inhale back up through center. Straighten your front leg. Now pivot your toes around slightly. Left toes out towards the back of your mat. Your right are kind of angled towards the front here. Palms are still touching in the middle. Good. And then we are going to sink into this left knee and come into warrior 2 on the left. Open your arms up. That's it. Good. You're with me. Inhale here. Good. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Palms come to touch in the middle. Gaze up. And then exhale, shift back down. Good. A few more here. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. 3 more. Last 2. So huge breaths. You can hear me in the mic probably taking these huge breaths. They're there for a reason. We are flushing out. Good. Land into warrior 2. Take your hands back above your head, palms touch. Lean back towards your right leg. Feel the stretch into the side of the body. Breathe here. Good. Inhale your torso back through center. Straighten your front leg. Let's pivot all the way back to the front of the mat. Good. Hands come down. Let's step back into high plank. 1 push up here. High plank. Good. Drop your knees. Shift your weight back. Run through your vinyasa. Curl forward, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, step your right foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee. Back toes are tucked under. Inhale, rise up, palms touch. And we start to lean back. So as much as you're leaning back, you're sinking into that front knee so that you have this beautiful supported expression through the front of the body. How do we support it? Well, we have to balance the pelvis, but then we need to find that central channel line, pelvic floor, lower abs, and upper abs. Beautiful. Good. Inhale your torso back up through center. You can release your arms. Take your right arm out in front of you. Good. Left arm is going to come underneath your right, and you are going to wrap your arms here. Now, if this is not possible, just grab onto your shoulders, opposite shoulder. Okay, good. From here, we are going to come into flying posture. So start by straightening your back leg. You're going to shift all your weight forward and come into flying posture, Virabhadrasana C. I got to adjust my position in them. There you go. Lift that back leg. Now, if you're quite steady here with your arms, start to pull them forward so you have a little more length. Good, let's unravel. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Keep the left leg lifted. Left hand is going to stay onto the mat or a block. Right hand onto your sacrum or up towards the sky for twisted moon. Beautiful. Open the chest. Now, as you unwind from this posture, you're going to bring both hands to the inside edge of your right foot and slowly place your back foot down onto the mat. Yeah, so you are in a low lunge. Okay, both hands to the inside edge of that right foot. Start to roll onto the outer edge of your right foot and sink in for lizard posture. You can either stay up, or if you need more intensity, you come down onto your forearms. But that back knee is preferably lifted. Yes, good. So what do you need to do to shift right now in this moment? Might just be a simple intention, simple rhythm of breath. Might be closing your eyes and feeling the sensation of the mat underneath you, supporting you. Good. Let's unwind and step back, downward facing dog. And finally, let's switch sides. Inhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Drop your back knee. Good. Let's rise up, palms touch, and come into this beautiful opening through the front of the body. Good. So a lot of the time we tend to hold back here, right? We kind of come to that comfort level where we can hold for the full 8 breaths. But what if you came just a little deeper? Kind of started pushing the limits a little bit. Inhale yourself up, release your arms. Left arm comes up, right arm underneath, wrap around or catch onto opposite elbows or shoulders, sorry. Yeah, you got it. Good. Inhale, straighten the back leg. Let's lift and come into flying posture. Good. I need to adjust once again. Beautiful. That's it. Now reach your hands out in front of you. Find a little more extension between your back toes and your fingertips. These are beautiful. Good. 3 more breaths here. On your third breath, let's slowly unwind. Hands come down onto the mat or onto blocks. Right hand stays where it is, left hand onto the sacrum or up towards the sky. Good. Now I know it feels awkward. We are starting to ask the body to move in completely different directions than we normally do, right? Good. As we unwind, both hands come down onto the mat towards the inside edge of the left foot. Step your right foot back. Good. You might have to adjust that front foot a little bit. That's it. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot into lizard posture, either staying up here or come down onto your forearms. Good. I think I lost a few of you. We got it. That back knee is preferably lifted, but if you need to, take a couple seconds of breath, you can drop it down, reposition, and join us again. Beautiful. Let's come back up onto the hands. Step back into high plank. Now we are going to flesh everything out with 2 vinyasas. So let's start in high plank. Take 1 push-up. High plank. Good. Drop your knees. Shift your weight back. Forearms come down. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Good. And I want you to do 1 more on your own, starting back into high plank. You guys know this vinyasa well now. Let your breath guide you. Beautiful. Land into the hands and the feet. And for our final posture, we are going to do pigeon on both sides. So inhale your right shin behind your right wrist crease. Let's drop ourselves down and tuck your back toes. And then this time, let's come forward, rest the forehead. And I want you to feel this surrender here. Surrender to the breath. Surrender to what the body is and how it's showing up for you in this exact moment. And then most importantly, I want you to surrender to your light that is there. It might just be blocked or covered up. You maybe literally can start feeling it shining through in tiny little dots through the body until it gets a little stronger and bigger. The breath slows. The mind is steady. And let's slowly make our way back up into downward facing dog. And then lastly, let's switch into the left side. Good. Organize the body. Let's come down. Same intention here. Same focus, same movement. Good. So let's come back up onto the hands. Let's roll over onto the left hip. Swing your right leg forward. Coming into a comfortable seated position at the top of your mat. Good. Let's guide our hands in front of heart center. 3 deep belly breaths here together. Into the nose and out through the nose. Pulling the breath down to the belly, having it extend with the inhale and drawing it back towards the spine with your exhale. Good. And on your last one, let's bow inwards. Thank you very much for showing up, doing your practice, doing the work. Namaste.